What's happening, gamers? This is John of Video Games in the World. I remember 5 years ago when I made weekly news, but it didn't last long. So this year I'm doing it again and hopefully I can make it last. So welcome to Video Games and the World's weekly news that brings you the news in gaming, TV shows, and movies as well. Let's begin. Paramount Pictures has brought us a lot of great movies since its foundation in 1912. These movies are The Godfather, The Godfather Part 2, Saturday Night Fever, Crocodile Dundee, South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, Team America World Police, the Star Trek movies, the Transformers series of movies, and so on. Paramount Pictures is also known for some video game adaptations such as Lara Croft Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, and the Sonic the Hedgehog movie series. And now, this movie studio has teamed up with Activision to make a live-action adaptation of one of its best-selling video games, the Call of Duty series. Call of Duty has been a popular first-person shooter game since 2003. The first setting of the series took place in World War II, then will go into a more contemporary setting with modern warfare, and later a futuristic setting, starting with Black Ops 2 and with games such as Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare. This game series is also known for its celebrity endorsements, as various movie stars and famous YouTubers promoted many of its iconic titles. Now, the CEO of Paramount Pictures, David Ellison, said this in a statement. As a lifelong Call of Duty fan, this is truly a dream come true. From the first Allied campaigns in the original Call of Duty through Modern Warfare and Black Ops, I've spent countless hours playing this franchise that I absolutely love. I can promise that we are resolute in our mission to deliver a cinematic experience that honors the legacy of this 1 million in a million brand. A live-action Call of Duty I saw was a movie canonical to the franchise called Operation Kingfish. This movie served as a prequel to the 2010 game Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, where it shows the Task Force 141 on a mission to find and capture or kill Vladimir Makarov. This movie shows how Captain Price was captured by Makarov and sent to that gulag, as we see in the 2010 Modern Warfare 2 game. Perhaps it might be an original story, or this movie could adapt one of the games. Hopefully it could start with a contemporary setting, or it could start with its roots when the series first began, World War II. I wasn't too fond of Call of Duty going all futuristic, never attracted my attention. And also, what's really funny is that I remember watching this movie called Black Hawk Down back in 2001, but then when I played Call of Duty 2007 and I started watching Black Hawk Down again, I was like, oh shit, it's Call of Duty the movie. The next news is about the upcoming sequel to the new Superman movie, which started James Gunn's DC Universe. Now, the Superman movie premiered on July this year, and there were mixed reactions to it. Some people loved it, others were not too fond of it because they felt it was too comical with the unnecessary humor and how there was so much going on. Me, personally, I gave it an 8 out of 10. There were a couple of things I didn't like, such as Hawkgirl making a hawk screech instead of a battle cry, as she did in the Justice League cartoon series. That I didn't like. And most times the humor was unnecessary, as I didn't feel some of the jokes. Still, I gotta praise David Corenswet's performance as a Man of Steel, though I know some people like my second older sister and my friends saying how Henry Cavill was the better Superman. They're gonna kill me for this, but Henry Cavill, he was too godlike, to be honest. Anyways, the new upcoming movie is going to be called Man of Tomorrow. This movie is scheduled for July 9, 2027, and at that time I will be like 41 years old, and it has been 2 years since this new movie was released by that time. Last month, DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn revealed the Superman saga while discussing his ongoing work on the follow-up to this summer's Superman. While promoting Peacemaker Season 2, which follows the events of Superman as part of the newly established DC Universe, Gunn told The Hollywood Reporter that he's already finished the treatment for the next story in what I'll call the Superman saga. The treatment is done which means a very, very worked out treatment. He continued, I'm working on that and hopefully going into production on that not too far away from today. Now we know this movie is called Man of Tomorrow. Some people are skeptical that James Gunn's DC Universe will succeed given the mixed reactions of the Superman movie with David Corenswet. But can we please wait before we judge the movie and the rest of the DC Universe movies? Por favor. I believe that if they do this right, the DC Universe can succeed where the DC Extended Universe failed. Because the DC Extended Universe started out solid with Man of Steel, but unfortunately they wanted to catch up to Marvel, which was a very big mistake. They rushed into Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice, which is based on the Death of Superman storyline, to immediately make way for the 2017 Justice League movie, which was a total bomb, which means a failure. What the DC Extended Universe should have done before the Justice League movie is introduce the heroes step by step. A project that is rushed is doomed to fail. To me, the DCEU movies that were good are Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, Shazam, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Batman vs. Superman, the 2021 Suicide Squad movie, Blue Beetle, Joker, etc. Shazam! Fury of the Gods was mediocre, to be honest. The worst ones were Aquaman, Aquaman 2, Wonder Woman 1984, Black Adam, the 2016 Suicide Squad movie, Joker, Folie à Deux, etc. Sure, Marvel had a lot of movies already, but what the DCU should have done is its own thing, and like I said, introduce the heroes and characters step by step. I just hope that James Gunn does not make the same mistake that the Snyderverse did. As you all know, there is a new Street Fighter live-action movie on its way. I gotta say that I am very skeptical about this, given how the 1994 Street Fighter movie was a disaster, and the Legend of Chun-Li movie was even worse. A lot worse. It turns out that Paramount is part of yet another video game adaptation and has teamed up with Legendary Pictures for a 3-year deal for the adaptation of Capcom's iconic fighting game, Street Fighter. The movie will take place in 1993, the same year that the iconic Street Fighter II game hit the arcades, according to this article at Hollywood Reporter. To correct the Hollywood Reporter on this, Street Fighter II was released in arcades and consoles in 1992. I remember playing Street Fighter II when I was 6 years old back in 1992, and boy, I love that game ever since. The Street Fighter series first debuted in 1987, and since then, it has become a worldwide cult phenomenon, inspiring various other fighting games such as Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Soul Calibur, Killer Instinct, you know. This is the story of the movie. Set in 1993, estranged fighters Ryu and Ken are thrown back into combat when a mysterious Chun-Li recruits them for the next World Warrior tournament. A brutal clash of fists, fate, and fury. But behind this battle royale lies a deadly conspiracy that forces them to face off against each other and the demons of their past. And if they don't, it's game over! Lame Raul Julia impersonation, but I had to do it. And speaking of Raul Julia, he was a great Bison, even if that 1994 movie was shitty. And vaya con Dios, Raul Julia. Descansa en paz. The Street Fighter movie has a sprawling cast, including Noah Centineo as Ken Masters, Andrew Koji as Ryu, Kalina Liang as Chun-Li, Roman Reigns as Akuma, David Dastmalchian as M. Bison, Cody Rhodes as Guile, Andrew Schultz as Dan Hibiki, Eric Andre as Don Salvage, Vidyut Jamwal as Dalsim, with 50 Cent as Balrog and Jason Momoa as Blanca. It also stars Orville Peck as Vega, Olivier Richters as Zangief, Hiroki Goto as E. Honda, Reina Vallandigham as Julie, Alexander Volkanovsky as Joe, Kyle Mooney as Marvin, and Mel Yarnson as Cammy. Judging by this cast, I have certain things to say about it. Jason Momoa was in Minecraft and now he's in this one as Blanca. It sounds like typecasting. But if he's going to play as Blanca, then they better not do what the 1994 movie did to the character. How dare Steven E. D'Souza turn Charlie Nash into Blanca? As for Andrew Schultz, I'm sure he's a good actor and all, but Dan Hibiki is Asian and Andrew is Scottish, German, and Irish. You should have cast an Asian actor. Mel Jarnson was Nitara in the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie, but didn't have such a huge role. Hopefully, Mel can have a much better role as Cammy. As for the movie, hopefully it can be respectful to the source material and succeed where the last two movies failed. But I still do not deny that the 1994 Street Fighter movie with Van Damme is a guilty pleasure. Now, a real Street Fighter movie that truly respected the source material was the machinima movie titled Street Fighter Assassin's Fist, which focuses on the origins of Ryu and Ken. It also has a story about Gouken and Gouki and how the latter will become Akuma and come into conflict with his brother Gouken and sensei Gotetsu. But to me, the best Street Fighter movie is the 1994 animated movie. Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, is like the best Street Fighter movie ever made. Sophie Turner is a British actress known for her role as Sansa Stark in the HBO TV series Game of Thrones. She was also Jean Grey in the movies X-Men Apocalypse and that piece of crap movie X-Men Dark Phoenix. And now, Sophie is going to play as the one and only Lara Croft, the main protagonist of the Tomb Raider series of video games. The Tomb Raider series has been a very popular video game series since 1996. It tells a story of an adventurer named Lara Croft who travels the world going into ancient ruins and seeking mystical artifacts while fighting against enemy treasure hunters and mercenaries as well as supernatural forces. Tomb Raider's popularity spawned a live-action movie titled Lara Croft Tomb Raider in 2001, starring Angelina Jolie as Lara Croft. The movie spawned a sequel in 2003 titled Tomb Raider: The Cradle of Life, and I gotta say, they were both passable, not great. In 2018, Tomb Raider returned to the big screen with Swedish actress Alicia Vikander as Lara Croft. This movie was more in touch with the 2013 reboot of the series. I gotta say that the movie was okay, and my late father, may God bless him and may he rest in peace, he saw it too and he thought it was okay as well. So anyways, this live-action series is set to start production on Amazon Prime at the beginning of 2026. Turner was one of the two actors who were reported as frontrunners for the role back in 2024, the other being Lucy Boynton, known for playing Mary Austin in the Freddie Mercury biopic Bohemian Rhapsody. I am thrilled beyond measure to be playing Lara Croft, Turner said. She's such an iconic character who means so much to so many, and I'm giving everything I've got. They're massive shoes to fill, following in the steps of Angelina and Alicia with their powerhouse performances, but with Phoebe at the helm, we are all in very safe hands. I can't wait for you all to see what we have cooking. I agree with Sophie Turner on what she said, that these are some big shoes to fill, and I can only hope that she is great as Lara Croft, and also hope that while it brings fresh adventures, it can stay true to the source material. When it comes to Call of Duty and Street Fighter movies and the live-action Tomb Raider series, I gotta say that video game adaptations are now becoming more and more commonplace these days. Every era of cinema had its trend, like James Bond in the 60s, Star Wars, Rocky, Halloween, and Alien dominated in the 70s. Slasher films and raunchy teen comedies dominated in the 1980s. The 1990s was a golden era. The 2000s started the movie series like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Fast and the Furious, and then came all these superheroes and billion-dollar franchises. I will call the 2010s the age of superhero reboots and billion-dollar franchises. We all know that video game adaptations had this reputation of being huge failures in the past, but judging by how the latest adaptations were successful, it is a possibility that video game adaptations in the future could outshine Marvel and DC. The examples of these successful adaptations are the following: Detective Pikachu, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, The Last of Us, Fallout, Arcane League of Legends, the Minecraft movie, etc. However, I gotta say that it might take a while for video game adaptations to surpass both Marvel and DC. As you all know, Marvel and Disney have a lot of cash and planned projects. As for DC and Warner Brothers, I can say the same thing. But lately, many of Marvel and DC stuff have been pretty sloppy. As for the upcoming Superman sequel, that same year, the Batman Part 2 is coming as well. Let's just hope that they don't screw this up. I remember my reaction when I first saw the Batman, and I thought it was boring. But after giving it a second chance, I liked it. I wonder who the villain is going to be in the Batman Part 2. Could it be Mr. Freeze? Most likely, it will be the Joker. I can also hope that Two-Face and the Court of Owls can be potential villains in the movie. And that's all for the weekly news, everyone. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe, and share with everyone that you know. Please take care, and I will see you all next week, everyone. Bye!